we are back at the local lake in the south of France, so not very local actually. So I didn't know this in last week's video because it wasn't fully confirmed, but we are staying in the south of France right where we are now for the next 2.5 months. So basically, I haven't explained it very well. I am working at the Camping D'Artagnan campsite because my uncle owns it, but I won't bore you too much with all that jazz, and we'll get the rods out and we'll speak a bit more about it later on in the video. Right, so the net is up, and I think I mentioned it in last week's video, but I'm using literally a bank stick for my landing net because when somehow my cousin has snapped the old one, but it's fine. I caught fish with it last time. It was a bit awkward, but I did it and it was fine. And luckily it's not too shallow right in front of where we're fishing. But yeah, let's get the rods in the water as soon as we can. But first of all, I'm going to chuck a bit of bait out just to get them feeding as I sort everything else out, so I'll show you that now. And also I nipped to a local shop and for some reason they had boilies in. So I grabbed an extra bag of boilies because I'm going to be here for a lot longer. I only had 1 kilo of Mistralbaits, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think you still can't get bait over to France because when we left the EU, but anyway, I got some extra bait anyway. I got some 20mm Tutti Frutti boilies. Right, so there's a nice assortment of Mistralbaits and whatever brand that was in the lake now, and yeah, I've been baiting up with the bigger boilies for a couple of days now anyway, so they've got used to that fish, and it might bring some bigger fish in because the 20mm size baits. So enough chatting about, let's get some rods in the water. Right, so I'm using a CM1 wafter again because this is what's caught me both of the fish that I caught in last week's video. So let's stick this on, and on my other rod I think I'm actually going to use one of them big 20mm boilies just to see how it does. Stick this one where I was catching the fish, and I'm going to put the other one literally probably a rod length away from it, so around about the same area. That's why I baited up one spot only, because the far out spot that I bait up, it never produces. It did when I first started fishing here, but not too much anymore. Right, so I've got a 20mm boilie here that I'm just going to stick on, and we'll give this a go as well. If it doesn't work, I can always swap back to the 15mm pop-ups. But I've only got bait screws on the rigs that I brought with me, so I don't know how it's going to go with a bait screw with a big 20mm boilie, but we'll give it a try. Right, so I've got this little cheap float rod. I just tied up this rig. I've got a tiny hook, you can't even really see. Don't even focus on it. There you go, tiny hook. Got some shots and then a float. Then earlier, this old tub of boilies that my cousin has, pop-up, sorry. I flipped a couple of logs and got some worms. I don't know how long these are going to survive in here, if they're even still alive. So I've got my knife. Let's cut up some worms, put it on my rod, and I'll show you when I've done that. So I've got a bit of worm hanging on to the rod now, and let's just give it a little cast out. We'll go to our left because our cart rods are out on our right, and I just snapped the line. How the hell did I even do that? Okay, back to square one. Right, so because the float's very light and everything, I can't really cast it very far. I can't even see where it is on camera. Oh, no. It might actually be sitting on the bottom right now, or the fish is on. Oh, one or the other. I think the fish is on. Something's on. No, absolutely nothing. Okay. Let's try a bit of a longer cast. Sorry, this film is very terrible. I haven't got a tripod for my phone, but I've got a really bad lens on my camera, so there we go. That cast was a bit better. Let me show you. Right, so there's the float, which is a bit further out. Let's see if we can get anything on that, and I'll just go off camera for a bit and let you know if I get anything. The cart rods haven't done much, but we've literally been here for 10 minutes. Right, the cart rods went out, I set up this rod, so yeah, see what happens. Oh, that's gone. That's ripped it around. it round. Fine. Oh, it's only a little baby common. Oh, I got it. It swam into the net. Perfect. Right, it's not. Oh, I got it. It swam into the net. Perfect. Right, it's not a huge fish, but it's a nice little common, so we'll get around and get some pictures. There's too many sticks in the way. I'm not happy actually. No. So that was very annoying. So basically I moved the fish to a different spot just so I could unhook it better because there's a weird ledge there. And I dropped the net, put the net back in the water, I unhooked the fish, go to place the fish back in the net, and the net just completely moves from under me and the fish swims off. I got none of it on video and I'm absolutely fuming. It's never happened to me before, and yeah, I don't know, I'm very gutted. So I've reeled in my other rod as well because that fish swam through both of my lines and both the rods needed resetting. But that one was caught on the big 20mm boilie, so let's get it straight back out. Right, so I have had nothing else today apart from the fish that I caught but didn't catch in my eyes. I don't know if I really caught that. Well, obviously I did catch fish, it was in the net and I touched the fish, but I didn't get any pictures, which is very annoying. But I did get some video evidence, so yeah, I did catch a fish, but I'm still a bit gutted because I didn't get any pictures with it or anything, but at least I caught the fish. But yeah, it's about 6 o'clock now. It's getting a bit chilly, to be honest. The clouds came over. It doesn't look overcast there, but the clouds are covering the sun basically. And it's gone a bit chilly, so I'll come down maybe tomorrow or the day after, hopefully finish off this video and get a bit more filming in. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And we are back. I'm sorry if it's a tiny bit windy. It's a bit of a windy one today, but the wind is coming down to us, so that is not all bad. But we've just got back down to the lake and it is literally the day after from when we were here yesterday. So I've got some boilies in my hand. Quickly, just throw some in the water. Handful of boilies, quickly in. One handful there, and another handful. Well, when I say a handful, a couple a bit further out. And that'll do the trick. So, same old, I'm not going to bore you with all the jizz jazz. I'm using the same baits and rigs as I did yesterday. Someone commented in my last video actually that they want me to show rig presentation a bit more. So, I'll show you a bit of my rig presentation, but I'm going to get my alarms in and do all that jizz jazz off camera now. Right, so the rigs I'm using, they are homemade spinner rigs, and it's not really focusing here. Yeah, so homemade spinner rigs, as you can see here, and then it goes into a helicopter system. So that's got movement there, and this is a wafter. So usually spinner rigs are made for pop-ups, and a lot of people say this wouldn't work, but I've caught every single fish on this holiday on this exact rig, and the other rod is on the exact same rig, and that's got a boilie on it, and I caught a fish on it yesterday, so it definitely does work. And pop-ups don't do as well on this lake, and I could stick a simple hair rig on, but this works. The hooks hook perfectly every time, so if it's not broken, don't fix it. So that will do. So I'm going to get one of my rods in right now, and then I'll do my other one off camera. Right, so this rod just screamed off and the rod ripped literally around the corner. I just had to walk back, get it out the snag. It's got out the snag perfectly, thank God, because that was a scary take. But it beat like twice, because I got my clutch twice. Twice don't beat that much when there's a fish on. So it took me. I heard one beep and then I got up, but I didn't even realise it was on. But obviously it was. caught from the lake. Quite big, I do say so myself. And it's in the net. That was the most dodgy netting I've ever done in my life. But no matter what I did, if I brought it to the bank, it was kicking. So I just walked back a bit, got it in the net, came up here and stood on it, and it netted itself. But it actually swam down into the net, so it worked even better. But it's a very long fish. It's not huge, but I bet it's like a good 16, 17 maybe. So we'll get around and we will not lose this one at the net. I'm adamant we won't lose this one at the net. So let's get on out and get some pictures safely. As you can see there, he got hooked perfectly in the bottom lip. Stunning fish, so let's get her out and take some pictures. Right, so I'm casting the rod straight back out. The fish is just down by the feet there. Right, so let's get this rod straight back out so we can get another fish in the net. On the money. But I'm also, because that fish swam through the line, I'm also going to have to redo my other rod. Sorted, my two favourite best fishing spots. All locked and loaded. Here we are, and that is definitely the biggest fish I've had from here in the south of France. And it's an absolutely stunning fish. I'm really happy. Right, so let's get her weighed and we'll get some pictures. It's weighing in about 15, so that fish is supposedly about 13 pounds. Which, to be honest, I thought it was a bit bigger. Which is a bit weird, so I'm actually going to do that again. I don't believe that. Yeah, so it's probably about 13 pounds apparently. So, not as good and as big as I was looking for, but it's a nice fish, so I can't complain. But I thought it was probably about 17, 18 from how wide it was over the top and how long it was, but apparently not today. So we've got this beautiful fish here, give her a bit of water quick and we're going to release her. Apparently this fish is only 13 pounds-ish, but to be honest, I think that is a lot bigger. So I'm going to make sure my scales are zeroed in right later and everything, but I think it's about, it probably is about that size to be honest. It just looked very long and bulky from the front view, but let's release this fish. Come. Right, so let's get this fish gone. It's a bit murky because I've just been walking around. Perfect. Right, let's get a couple more fish in the bag and hopefully have a couple more. Not what I wanted. Right, so that fish just ripped off big time and it took itself straight into the snags. Right, so I've got the fish out of the snags finally, and just currently swimming through my other line. But this fish seems quite big. Reel my other rod in, please. Oh, I'll film. Right, so I'm just getting my camera assistant to reel my rod in. My other rod in, just while this fish is bouncing about. So I took my other rod out just so it doesn't get tangled, and it got knocked by this fish anyway, so it would have needed redoing anyway. So it doesn't make too much of a difference for me. Oh, this one's quite big actually. No wonder it gave quite a fight. Just missed the net, and that hook, it looks like it's in the bottom of the mouth, but it doesn't look like it's hooked very well. Calm down a bit now, and I'll get my net with the smallest handle in the world. Try to catch fish. This way. Got it. Here we go. And this fish actually weirdly looks identical to the last fish. I don't think it is. This one does look a bit chunkier. but we'll get around to them, we'll have a look and we'll get her on out. Right, I would like to confirm that this is definitely a different fish, and this fish is stunning, and I think it's a lot bigger, to be honest, so we will get the scales and weigh her. But look at this fish, she's absolutely beautiful. You can see all the mouths, it is absolutely perfect. You can't even tell that I caught that fish. You genuinely can't, because I use barbless hooks, because I could easily use barbed hooks here, but if you play the fish right, you will never lose a fish with barbless hooks. But this fish is absolutely stunning, and definitely heavy, so we'll see what she weighs and we'll get her back as fast as we can. Here we are, that's more like it. £17.5, so we'll take off £2 for the net, and that is £15 5 ounces. But I'm going to weigh this net after I release this fish, because I don't believe that's £2, so we can get more of a rough estimate what the fish are, because I haven't actually weighed the net yet, which I probably should. I just weighed the net and it weighs literally £1 on the, well, it's like 0.9 lb, so it weighs nothing, it's not £2. So the other fish, the weights will be up on the screen throughout the video of what the fish sizes actually were. Alright, we've got this absolutely huge fish here, and she is absolutely beautiful. I'm so chuffed with her. She's absolutely stunning, and she's got a big belly on her, so let's get her straight back in the water. She might even be holding eggs ready to spawn, so we'll get her back as fast as we can. Make sure she's revived, breathing fine, so she kicks off nice and strong. When she realises she can be free, she will definitely swim. Watch. There we go. And that's just amazing. I think that is just the piece on the pudding, and that might just have to be the end of the video, because that just ends perfectly on a beautiful fish. But we'll give it 10-20 more minutes, and if we get another fish, we get another fish, so we can't complain. Let's get back. Right, so I think I'm going to call it a day, because we've had 3 carp in this video. One of them I didn't actually get pictures of, but it's been a productive session. Unless I catch one in the next like 30 seconds now, then it will be it for today. But thanks very much for watching this week's video. I know I didn't sit down and talk more about what I'm doing in France, what I'm going to be doing over here, what videos I'm going to make. So I am here. I'll tell you a couple of things now. I'm here for the next 2 months-ish. I'm going to be here till about the 4th of July. So just less than 2 months, but I've already been here for about 2 weeks, nearly 3 weeks. And yeah, we're going to be doing loads of different things. But if you want to see a full video of me talking about it, or in my next fishing session, I'll just talk about it a bit more. But this has been an action-packed video, so I don't want blobbing a load of talking about what's going on here. So if you want to see a full video about it, just like everyone who watches the channel quite a lot, I will make a video on that and just talk about what I am doing in France. I'm going to get the rods out in the water. So thank you very much for watching this week's video. I hope you have enjoyed. I've definitely enjoyed filming this video, and we've definitely had some beautiful fish. So I will catch you in next week's video. See you next week.